What's good YouTube, NeoNexudus here, thoughts on the ban list video. We should be getting the TCG Banlist any day now, in time in the next few days. Hopefully it doesn't come out before this video goes up, so yeah. If you're wondering what that is behind me, that's the computer router. So I've just got a few scribbles, more like chicken scratch here, with notes of thoughts. Now, some of these thoughts I'll highlight as my personal likes to be hit or whatever, and some will be general thoughts about the ban list. So, these are just some ideas. I'm not. If you think I missed out something, put it in the comments. So at band, I've got the Djinn Releaser of Rituals, Snatch Steel, Quillhawk Towers, and Wind Up Hunter, and possibly Raigeki. Now I'm going to explain these. The Djinn Releaser of Rituals. Now, although it's a floodgate card, it is a one-sided floodgate card, and the only way to get rid of it is to get rid of the monster. I'm looking at ways to slow down the effectiveness of Necros, but not cripple them. I still want them to be a viable deck, because they're a very interesting, unique deck. We haven't had rituals in the game for a long time. Well, not since Gishkis. So I don't want them to be gone completely. I still want them to be perfectly viable, part of the meta, fine. I just don't want them to be as ridiculously overpowered as they already are. Okay? So, by either banning or limiting, because I have it as one of either. This is a personal choice, but it's also a possible thing that could go on the ban list. I mean, the card's been around for a while. It's just been re-released again in the Secret Forces, and it's not really got that much value, so Konami's not going to be making that much money of it. The main thing in Secret Forces that people are getting it for are obviously Vanity's Emptiness and the three big Necros, Brionac, and the other guys whose names escape me at this moment. I think Valkyrus or Gungnir is one of them. I'm not entirely sure, but so yeah, the Djinn Releaser of Rituals is either banned or limited, because it's a one-sided floodgate card. Your opponent can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Unless you're running a deck like me, like e.g. Volcanics, in which you don't care if you can't special summon. Most decks need to special summon to be able to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So you'd have to side heavily in the game too, and that could mess up the flow of your deck, etc, etc. So, Djinn Releaser Rituals either banned or limited. If it's limited, I'm perfectly fine with that, because that means that you only have to get rid of that one monster, and that's the whole Djinn lot gone. Unless obviously they recycle it, but that means they're committing cards to their main board or sideboard to recycle that one Djinn. So yeah, Djinn Releaser Rituals either banned or limited. Snatch Steal. Now, I'm perfectly okay with Snatch Steal being in the game, but there's been a lot of uproar about this. Snatch Steal, I think, is perfectly viable and fair. You know, we've got 3 MSTs, we've got Dust Tornadoes, we've got Twisters, we've got Raigeki Breaks, and God knows what else. All things that can just blow up cards on the field. Now, some people are saying Snatch Steal snatches games, or steals games even. It can do that, but you think back to when we had Brain Control or Mind Control, like they never did that. Yes, you can attack with this monster and you can still tribute with it, and there's no real cost, but what you got to remember is A, it's a equip spell, which is another reason why it could possibly get banned, because it's searchable by Hidden Armory. So being a equip spell, you can MST it and it will give you a monster back. Second reason, it gives your opponent 1,000 life points, or the controller of Snatch Steal 1,000 life points. No, the controller of the monster Snatch Steal has been used 1,000 life points, excuse me. So it does have those drawbacks, but some people are still saying it's unfair. I can understand how. In certain decks like Quillhawks and Infernoids, I've seen Hidden Armory being used to mill a card. Even in Light Swans, I've seen it using Hidden Armory to mill a card to get Snatch Steal to your hand, maybe the grave or the deck. And a Brain Control - Mind Control, a thing that allows you to steal your opponent's monster, with essentially for free. and is searchable is a little bit too good to be in the game. But like I said, I'm not bothered if it doesn't get banned. I'm perfectly fine with it being limited. But I'm saying it's a viable card. Quillhawk Towers. This is personally one of my own things. I think the card is absolutely ridiculous. Not every deck has main board outs, and sometimes not even sideboard outs. This card is really ridiculous because not only can... I'm not sure if it's someone can't be negated or not, but if so, I think the only way to get rid of it is to summon it, is to get rid of its summon through, e.g. Solemn Warning or something like that, or to attack over it, and it's not affected by monster effects with a lower level or rank than itself, and it's a level 10. A level fucking 10. Now, Quillhawk players can search this through Scout, right? Yes, it takes 3 tributes of a Quilly monster, but with the whole pendulum mechanic, that's not too hard to do. They go pendulum summon, get 3 out of the extra deck mid-game, tribute them all off for towers, resolve all those tributed Quillhawk effects, and then they got towers on the field. So you can't activate any spells or traps on it because it's immune, which is really fucking annoying. And it's immune to any monster effects with a lower level or rank than itself. And as we know, most decks in the game are either rank 4 based or are the only high level monsters being currently running the game, to my knowledge, on a competitive level, would be Necros, or Necros, however you want to pronounce it. And I don't think even they have main board out to towers. So a 3000 beat stick that you can equip... what's that equip card? Sacrifice, which gives it an extra 300, so that's 3300, and can only be destroyed as... Well, it can't even be destroyed by battle then, because, you know, Sacrifice protects the monster from being destroyed by battle, and then when that goes, it gives the Quillhawk player a search. So, a 3300 beats it that can't be destroyed by battle. Cannot be affected by any monster effects with a low level or rank, and cannot be affected by any spell or track cards. It makes it damn near invincible. The only way you're going to get over it is something like an Honest. But if it's equipped with Sacrifice, you're going to have to MST or Dust Tornado or whatever, get rid of that Sacrifice, which then will give them a search. And then you're going to have to try and get over towers by itself. So it's just a real pain in the ass card, really poor designed. I reckon it needs to get banned, or if Konami wants to be really dickish, just limit it, at least. Because there are some Quillhawk players running like 2 to 3 in the deck, and it is just so fucking annoying when they drop towers. There's like 9 times out of 10, there's nothing you can do about it, absolutely nothing. Okay, so moving on from Quillhawk Broken Tower, I have Wind Up Hunter. Now, the OCG has had Wind Up Hunter banned for quite some time. If we ban Wind Up Hunter, cards like Wind Up Magician and Wind Up Carriers and Mighty can come further off the list. Wind Up Carriers and Mighty can go to 1 or 2, because the OCG just got 2. Wind Up Magician, the OCG currently has 3 of those. You know, that could possibly go up to 2. Or even just stay at 1 and just bring us back, you know, Mighty. Because with Hunter banned, it breaks the whole Wind Up loop. We don't have Shockmaster anymore. That can stay banned, that's fine. You can ban Shockmaster, just ban Wind Up Hunter along with it, and it breaks the Wind Up loop. It just makes them a very spammy, exceedable deck. They're not even tier at the moment, so what's the harm in banning Hunter? Okay, moving on to Limited. Burning Abyss, Madolce, I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's Burning Abyss Graph, basically. Melbranche or something Graph. It's the Burning Abyss monster that allows Burning Abyss players to special summon a Burning Abyss monster from their deck when this card hits the graveyard. Now, I reckon that is too overpowered. I'm not saying that BA are overpowered, you know. Yeah, they're a strong deck and that's why they're in the meta. But, you know, I want to see Graph limited, because if it was semi-limited, I don't think it would do that much. But limited, it would certainly slow the deck down a bit. And that's the aim of most of my card choices on the list, is to slow the game down, make it a little bit more skillful, put that extra little bit more thought into the game. and to essentially try and level the playing field for all players all round. Because it's no good for Quilts, for instance, to have towers, and for 9 out of 10 other decks out there not to have a main deck out to towers. I think that's a little bit unfair. So Burning Abyss Graph, simply because it special summons from the deck, and it doesn't really have a cost. You just, when it gets sent to the graveyard, so at least with something like Summon a Monk, when you special summon it from the deck, you have to discard a spell, and you have to drop effect value on it when you summon it. It stays in the tap mode, so that's always a drawback with only 800 attack. So you can't say that Summon a Monk is an unfair card. So Burning Abyss Graph, simply because it special summons from the deck. Next, I've got these as limited - semi-limited. Manju and Senju. Manju the 1,000 hands and Senju the 1,000 hands, Manju the 10,000 hands. Now I would like to see these guys get limited or semi-limited. It is a viable option. It's to slow down Necros. They can have 3 Bryonic and search the shit. They can have all their mirrors and all their ritual spell cards that add shit from the graveyard and from the deck to the hands. They've got enough searching as it is, right? But having 3 Manju and 3 Senju is a little bit too much, and for them to have 3 Preparation of Rites as well. Now, Senju has not been printed in a long, long time, so Konami's not actually making any money off those sets, like it was Retro Pack and another old set. So they're not actually making money off that anymore. So Senju's a viable hit. Senju's just gone to 3 in the OCG, which is kind of nuts. But then again, they've had Necros for a lot longer than us, and they have other cards from us to try and deal with that. Senju searches your ritual spell card, that can get semied, I suppose. It's not too bad. But Manju, I think, has to get limited, or be dickish and just semi-limit it. Slow the deck down, take away a couple of their monsters, because Manju searches out a ritual spell or a ritual monster, and for it to do either or is just, I think, a bit too good. The deck has a lot of searching as it is and a lot of recyclability, so by limiting or semi-limiting Manju and Senju, it decreases the speed. Honestly, I'd like to see Manju personally at 1, Senju 1-2. I'm not really bothered by that. Preparation of Rites. I think Preparation of Rites should be limited. It's just come out in the Secret Forces. Yes, I know. It's not a particularly money card. And again, it's come out in Gold Series as well, which is a little bit weird. So, Preparation of Rites, it allows them to add, I think it's a ritual spell from their deck and a monster from their graveyard, or the other way around. They either get a ritual monster from their deck and a ritual spell from the graveyard. Either way, it recycles a lot. Them having access to that at 3 and 3 Bryonic, along with 3 Manju, 3 Senju, yes, it gives the deck a lot of consistency. I'm not doubting that. Don't get me wrong, I do not want Necros totally annihilated, but I want them slowed down and evened out, okay? Because there's just too much searching going on there. I don't personally hate the deck. It's a really interesting deck, but there are certain locks and combos in the deck and far too much searching that they can outpace other decks. And watching the ARG that just happened last weekend, the mirror match is absolutely brutal. It's like whoever gets the Djinn lock first wins, and being able to constantly search for the key pieces for that Djinn lock is just too good. So yeah, Preparation of Rites preferably limited, Manju preferably limited, Senju limited - semi-limited. Also on the limited list, I've got Crush Card Virus, Dark Magician of Chaos, Ring of Destruction, Sister Serpent. All those cards that are, and things like Exchange of the Spirit and all things that are being reprinted in the Gold Series 2, or whatever it's called, Premium Gold 2 rather. All those old cards been errated now, and they're a lot more fairer than their original prints. So Crush Card Virus is now, I believe, tribute a Dark Monster with 1,000 or more attack, or is it, no, 1,000 or less a dark monster with 1,000 or less, and then you get to destroy all monsters on the field. I think it's with 1,500 more on the field and in the opponent's hand. And the old text used to say, for the next 3 turns, each time they draw a monster with 1,500 or more, send it immediately to the graveyard. It'll be destroyed. The new text is, it destroys the ones in the hand, destroys the ones in the field, but then the opponent gets to send 3 monsters from their deck to the graveyard, instead of each time they draw for the next 3 turns, a monster of 1,500 or more is destroyed. So it is fair in that aspect. It could still be quite deadly, especially with Burning Abyss and Shadow Mist and all those things. But the ability to send 3 cards to the graveyard, that is a little bit silly. Using that against a zombie player, a Burning Abyss player, hell, some Necros players, they can just really set up their grave. So you'd have to be very careful playing your Crush Card Virus from now on. So that's why I think that would come back at limited. I personally don't care if these cards come back. I'm not bothered either way. But I just think it's going to happen because why else would Konami errata the cards and then print them? Okay, Demock is now, when it's summoned, you now have to wait to the end phase to get your targeted spell in the graveyard instead of getting it immediately and being able to recycle things. Yada yada yada. Ring of Destruction, I'm not entirely sure what the new errata is on that. Before I know it was destroy 1 monster, both players take the same amount of damage. I think it's now destroy 1 monster, both players take the same amount of damage, but then the opponent can't take any more damage until the end of their turn or something like that. Basically the end of the next turn. So yeah, I think that's it. The opponent can't take any damage till the end of the next turn. So yeah, it can still be a game ender, but it no longer means you can pop a monster and then just go rawr, all guns blazing attack. I believe that's the new text. Sinister Serpent, that's now, you can still got this sort of similar effect. When you discard it, you can bring it back to your hand in the standby phase, but if it's in the graveyard during your opponent's end phase, it gets banished, so that could be limited. That coming back would obviously help out Mermails a bit with essentially semi-free discard fodder, but the whole banishing thing makes it a lot more fair. Moving on to everyone's favourite, hashtag Free My Nigger Stratos. I think Stratos could come back. It would give heroes a definite more competitive edge in the meta. Yes, Dark is a card. I don't believe heroes are going to be hit this list because we've still got Blazeman coming out next month in April in the World Superstars pack or All Stars pack, something like that. Maybe next list they might limit or semi-limit, Shadow Mist, and they might also hit Master Change 2. Master Change 2 could be hit, I'm not particularly bothered, but I really hope they don't hit Shadow Mist and don't bring back Stratos, because that would just make heroes completely unplayable again. So yeah, I think Stratos can come back and give heroes a competitive edge. Gives us a freaking, Master Change target for that annoying wind, I can't even find it now, but yeah, there's a wind masked hero, and basically we can't play at the moment because there's no good wind hero monster to use it on. The best we got is Avian, and that kind of sucks. Yeah, we could form change into it if you really want to commit main deck space, but not everyone wants to run form change, so give us Stratos. It's a searcher, it pops back row, yes, we all know what it does. Just limit it. I know the ability to play a hero lives and for Stratos and get a search is phenomenal, right? But you're getting a search anyway with Shadow Mist, so you play a hero lives, pay your half-life points to get a search for Master Change. And then, if you set that Master Change, wait till your opponent's turn, you Master Change into Dark Lord, you get your search for your an E hero anyway. So, essentially, Shadow Mist is a lot easier to use as a Stratos than Stratos is to use as Stratos. Because all Shadow Mist has to be done is sent to the graveyard, and then you get your free search for an elemental hero. I know Stratos can add any hero. I believe Shadow Mist can also add any hero. So, yeah, swings and roundabouts, really, Stratus could come back. I don't really see why it's still banned. If you have a perfectly viable reason, by all means, put it down in the description and I'll read it and give you my thoughts and opinions on that. Okay, also limited, limited. Summoner's Art. Now, Konami has this habit of hitting generic support cards. This is a way to inadvertently slow down the Quillhawk players, because they also run triple Summoner's Art to get, or double Summoner's Art to get to Scout, and then they play Scout and pay for 800 and get a search for another Quillhawk monster or Quillhawk card, and they can add sacrifice, equip that to a monster, and they'll get another search when sacrifice is sent to the graveyard, and there's just a lot of searching in that deck. So by limiting Summoner's Art, it slows down that play. I think it's inadvertent hitting Quillhawks. The same way that hitting Manju Senju and Preparation of Rites is inadvertently hitting Necros. It's not actually affecting the archetype cards themselves, it's just the generic support. And Konami has a habit of hitting generic support rather than actually dealing with the main deck problems. Just saying. So yeah, Summoner's Art limited or semi-limited. Some people are saying that it won't get hit because of the new monsters that are coming out in the next... That's my phone. The new monsters that were coming out in the next set. I forget what they are. They're like giant guns. And apparently Summoner's Art could be used with them. So maybe they will hit it, maybe they won't. But my initial thought is limit the card. Also limit Zenmighty. Why not carry Zenmighty? If you ban Hunter, you can bring back Zenmighty. Simple. Just ban Hunter, give us back Zenmighty. As an ex-wind-up player myself, I miss the card. It's good. It gives the deck speed. It gives it what it needs. And, oh yeah, that's on my list. Temple of the Kings as well, because that got errated along with Cine, Demok, Rod, etc. and CCV. So, yeah. So that's my limited. Semi-limited, I got Five Fist Spirit. You can semi-limit that because Five Fists, or at least 3.4 or +1 access, whatever. They have not. Five Fists in general have not been doing anything for a while now. So bring back Spirit to 2, see how it does. I don't think it's going to do that much, and then maybe next list it can come up to 3. Thunder King. For God's sakes, how long has Thunder King been at 1? Thunder King could easily come back to 2. It's a sort of mini floodgate card. Yeah, it stops searching and it contributes itself to negate an inherent summon. But it's a good card and it deserves to come back to 2. Being up 1 is a tech at best. And don't get me wrong, that's cool. That's cool. But Thunder King has been at 1 for a long time now. And I feel like that it can come back to 2. I don't see a reason why it can't come back to 2. It's not exactly wham bam combo card. It's not as if you can special summon it out the deck. Unless you use certain bad track cards like, I think it's Soul Rope or something like that. When the monster's destroyed by battle, you pay 1,000 life points to special summon 1 monster from the deck. So, yeah. Thunder King to 2. Just try it, Konami. Just try it. What's the worst that could happen? Saying that, something bad will fucking happen. So yeah. What else do I have on here? I have Quillhawk Scout. Quillhawk Scout could be semied just to try it out. Slowing down the Quillhawk plays, stop the mass searching that the deck does. I don't really know what else to say. It has a cost of 800 life points, so you can chain your MST and they pay 800 and they can't continue their search, or you chain a mistake and they can't continue their search. I get that. So, I think either Scout? I meant Scout. Scout or Sacrifice need to be hit in some shape or form, because having that much searchability, Summoner's Art, Sacrifice, and And Scout, Sacrifice, and Summoner's Art is just too much in the deck, in my opinion. And it's too easy to get to Towers. Towers is the main problem in the deck. Come on, people. That card needs to go. It was poorly designed. What? Konami must have been fucking smoking crack when they were doing that. Wind Up Magician. I think that can come to 2 if you ban Hunter. Hunter is the problem. Ban Wind Up Hunter. Bring up Wind Up Carrier to 1. Bring Wind Up Magician to 2. Dark Strike Fighter. Stark. Yes. Dark Stark Fighter, because, you know, Dark Strike Fighter is Tony Stark, Iron Man, you know, lots of sense. So yeah, Dark Strike Fighter, it has not been doing next to anything at 1. It really hasn't. And since it got errated, it's fair now. It's perfectly fair to play. It's no longer tribute all your monsters and then attack, or attack then tribute all your monsters for game. So it hasn't done anything the last 3 months since it's been back. I reckon it can come back to 2. Because I don't think it's doing anything. I haven't even seen people running that. They'd much rather run something like Black Rose Dragon and just nuke the field. So yeah, Dark Strike Fighter semi-limited, and then I've got Monster Gate semi-limited. Now, why Monster Gate? Because it gives Infernoid support. Now, Infernoids can be a really, really sacky deck. But Monster Gate could help him out a lot. And it's just one of those old school cards that, you know, it's good. You know, Monster Gate, it's a good card, but it has its drawbacks. You have to tribute a monster as a cost. So, you know, swings and roundabouts, it's good for Infernoids, and it can be splashing other things. Just try it at 2, you know. What decks even main it at 1? Infernoids, that's all I know of at the moment. Infernoids main it at 1. So, give them a bit of a boost, you know, come on. They're not exactly high in meta with the top 3, you know, Quills, Necros and BA. They're not part of the top 3 decks. So, just give them a little bit extra support. Throw them a bone. Moving on to Unlimited, Chaos Sorcerer. I haven't seen Chaos Sorcerer do anything in a long time now. They mainly run its big brother, BLS. So, they were splashing a BLS, maybe 1 Chaos Sorcerer, but I don't see people running BLS and 2 Chaos Sorcerers at all. The only reason why we won 2 Chaos Sorcerers back in the day is because BLS was banned. Simple. So, Chaos Sorcerer to 3. I don't see it doing anything, to be honest. It's just one of those cards that can come to 3. It's bad. You can't even attack with it when it banishes something. It's only on 2300 anyway. So, put it to 3. See what happens. Raise hell. Lone Fire Blossom. Plants have not done anything in a long time. We've just got some new plant support in Premium Gold 2. Rose Lover and Rose Archer, I think it is. No, it's not Rose Archer, it's Rose Lancer or something like that. And it's a wire, and you pitch it and you search for a high level plant monster. So we've got some nice plant support in the latest Gold series. And I reckon Lone Fire Come to 3 could give plants a little bit of oomph. I don't think they'll break it into the top tier, but, you know, it's all about bringing these old decks, these old archetypes, and giving them back what they once had. It brings diversity to the game. Konami's not really making money off Lone Fire Blossom anymore. It got released as gold in the old Gold series, but they're looking at the new Gold series to make money now, so throw Plants Bone, give us Lone Fire at 3. It's not ridiculously broken. Yes, you can make some silly plays, but it doesn't really affect the top 3 if they get 3 Lone Fire. Because 2 Lone Fire, you haven't seen plants on the competitive circuit. So, we just got some plant support, give us Lone Fire at 3. It'd be a nice oomph. Goyo to 3. Goyo hasn't been doing anything at 2. If anything, people want to just run the 1 Goyo. So Goyo to 3, I don't see it doing anything. Dragon Gores to 3. Dragon Gores have really not been doing anything. So I don't see them doing much more at 3 than they were at 2, so to hell with it. Advanced Ritual Art. No one uses this card. You know, we have Necros now. They're a lot better and have a lot better ritual spell cards than Advanced Ritual Art. You have to essentially main deck, like, I don't know, 4 to be on the safe side, vanilla monsters. You know, just to use the one Advanced Ritual Art, just in case you draw into your shit. Or at least 3 vanillas. You know, you just send 2 vanillas to the graveyard to form a ritual summon, and they have to be from deck. So I haven't seen it do anything at 2. I don't think it'll do anything at 3. Take it off the list. Dark Hole to 3. Ooh. I think Dark Hole should come to 3 because it hasn't really been doing much at 2. People sometimes sideboard Dark Hole, but even that's pretty minor. You know, we're all main decking Raigeki. If Raigeki gets banned, then people are going to be playing Dark Hole again. No two ways about it. And for it to stay at 2 would be fine. You know. But as it stands, we've got Raigeki at 1. I don't see that going to 2. No way. It's too good a card. But Dark Hole to 3, it's a possibility. I'm not saying it could happen, but I don't particularly think it would make that much of a difference if it went to 3. And then finally, at Unlimited, we've got Heretic Seal of Convocation. We've got 3 Rota, 3 Equal, 3 Shadow Mist, 3 of this, 3 of that. You know, we have searchability in the game. Give Heretics back their 3rd Heretic Seal of Convocation. Yes, there's that whole Dark Matter Dragon OTK thing, but that's pretty inconsistent at best, and there are lots of ways to deal with that, you know. Side deck Light Imprisoning Mirrors, use Vanity's Emptiness, you know, Bottomless Trap Hole, their summons. There's a lot of ways to deal with it. Yes, it's annoying, but it's one of those odd, random OTK decks that I don't think is even going to break into the top 3. So, give Heretics back. You know, we've given to heroes, you've given to warriors, or inadvertent heroes, because they're warriors as well. Give Heretics back their 3rd Heretic Seal Convocation. I really don't think it'll do that much. So, yeah, that's all my current thoughts about the ban list. Dragon Rulers is a topic I just want to briefly touch on. I don't personally believe that Dragon Rulers are going to be touched like they are in the OCG, because we don't have Odd Eyes Dark Rebellion Dragon, or whatever it's going to be called. The OCG are just getting it, I believe, and we're not going to be getting it for another 3+ months. So, next list, perfectly viable for the Dragon Rulers to possibly get touched. But I don't think the TCG Dragon Rulers are in any immediate danger as of this moment. So with that, I'd like to thank you all for watching this video. Rate, comment, subscribe, thumbs up the video. Tell me what you liked about this video, tell me what you didn't like about the video. I like getting into the swing of making videos again. That last collaboration video with Dr. Cell 1989 took forever because I really had to get used to using the new Windows 7 Movie Maker. If any of you guys got any hips or hints on how to use that, or even know of any free software that's good for video editing or anything like that, or even audio editing software that's free and good and easy to use, because I do use Audacity currently. It's a little bit tricky. So once again, thank you all for watching. Any help would be appreciated. Tell me what you liked about it, tell me what you didn't like about the video, and I'll catch you all next time. This is NeoNexudus signing out. Peace.